Hi everyone. Welcome to ACAD Asia. ACAD Asia is a Singapore-based impact-driven edtech startup that empowers the largest online community of education institutions and educators in Asia to upskill and reskill themselves to improve the learning outcomes for their 21st century learners. On acadasia.com, educators can access four specific services. First, collabED, a social networking service that empowers education institutions to build their international network from all over Asia, and where individual educators can join a wide range of communities of teaching ad learning practice and engage in peer-to-peer learning. Second, skillED, a professional development service that empowers educators to upskill and reskill themselves by accessing more than 1,000 hours of professional development content, all with formal CPD accreditations. In addition to this, academic managers from education institutions can track, measure, and improve the efficacy of all professional development that their faculty access on the platform, thus leading to better learning outcomes for their students. Third, DesignED, the easiest course builder on the planet. In 5 simple steps, this service empowers educators to build fun, engaging, and quality content for their learners. Furthermore, third-party tools like Canva, Google, etc. are fully integrated right into DesignED. Fourth, CertifyED, a digital credentialing service that empowers education institutions to design, award, and track fully verifiable and tamper-proof digital micro-credentials and certificates on the blockchain. Join the largest community of educators in Asia who are already using the platform and sign up for your free lifetime membership at www.acadasia.com today.
All right. Hello and welcome once again to all our friends from all over the world, all our friends from the ACAD Asia educator community. Wherever you are, good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. And I hope everyone is well. It's another webinar series, weekly event. Today is Technology Tuesdays, brought to you by ACAD Asia. ACAD Asia is a mission-driven edtech business, and our mission is to empower educators everywhere. I hope all of you are doing great. All our friends from all the different Southeast Asian countries, and of course, all over. Shout out to all our, of course, our beloved teachers in the Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, and all our other colleagues from all over the world, Middle East, the Americas, and well elsewhere. So, as you know, Technology Tuesdays, usually we showcase a featured technology that some of our educators will find very useful. And I think it's very important, as we've been doing the past, I think, several months now. We have several partners and we've showcased a lot of interesting tools to help enhance your technical familiarity and comfort level with using technology. This month, and I'll share my screen really quickly now, of course, our focus is about local culture and global mindset. Okay, so our series of events for this March. Last week, of course, we had globalization and the future of work. And of course, for this month of March, our partner is Nian Polytechnic, one of the top polytechnics out of Singapore. And if you want to catch that activity and webinar, you can still avail of that, and I'll show you in a minute. Of course, for today, the 7th of March, Technology Tuesday, we'll be talking about building your international network. So just as a reminder for all our guests and friends now watching the stream, if you have not yet done so, please go to acadasia.com and sign into your account. Or if it's your first time, please sign up as a teacher account. Okay, don't choose the other options. Please make sure you sign up as a teacher so that you can avail of all the services and great content and professional development available to you. Once you join and come into the platform, don't forget to complete your profile, and I'll walk you through a little bit more towards the end of our program today. You can, of course, join collabED, and that's what we'll be talking about today. And we'll showcase you, as you can see, a lot of our colleagues and teachers have already gotten their CPD certificates from our previous month's events. So here is our stream, and you can see how you can join and participate and engage with all our teachers and educators from all over the world. When you go into skillED, which is our catalog of all our professional development courses, last week we had Globalization and the Future of Work. If you do not have a free account, this has a price, so you may purchase this course by itself, or you can actually purchase it a silver membership to access all our content and courses. For this course in particular, Globalization, the Future of Work, we extended the deadline. Last week was supposed to be a shorter deadline, but to give more chance to all our members and friends, we've extended it up to March 14. So you can come here, get your membership, and you will earn upon rewatching the webinar and completing this course. You can earn up to 2 CPD points for our friends in the Philippines, and for our friends again in the Philippines, you will be part, if you are qualified, will be eligible for the first 5,000 qualified completers to get your CPD point certificate at the end of the month. Okay, so complete by March 14, you will get your qualified CPD point certificate at the end of the month. And again, as a reminder, incomplete and no submissions, no CPD points. We've extended that to March 14 for Globalization Future Work. For today, of course, we'll be talking about our course for Technology Tuesday, using collabED and build your international network. And I'll be introducing our speaker in a little bit. For this course, you can also find that on SkillEd, using collabED to build your international network. And the deadline for this course, so that you can get in the Philippines for your CPD points, you can earn up to 1.5 CPD points for today's session. Watch the webinar, complete the course. Make sure to complete it by March 13. And you will also be part then of the end of the month qualified completers for CPD points. If you do so, up to 5,000 will be qualified to earn these points. Of course, today, again, if you are a paid member, you will be able to access the course and certificate. Right now, it's free to watch our webinar today. But I encourage you to, aside from purchasing the course by itself, a better value offer would be to sign up for an annual membership. Just go to our membership page here and then sign up for the most affordable account is, of course, $30 a year for a silver account. That's about 1,600 pesos in the Philippines. That's about less than 150 pesos per month. Very affordable, very reasonable. Make sure that when you check out and let's say you get your silver membership here, you can choose to pay via credit card and, of course, by GCash using bank transfers. You can open the PDF guide, sign up, and follow the steps. I'll walk through this later so that you can sign up. Okay? So make sure that, again, we've extended our courses. Globalization and Future of Work extended until March 14. And, of course, our session today, collabED, building your international network, up to March 13. Sign up now. So, all right. So let me now talk about a little bit more about our topic specifically for today. Okay, so today, Technology Tuesday, we've been showcasing a lot of other apps. Okay, so if you remember our past months, we've touched upon Wakelet or Padlet or some other tools. And of course, many other partners like Literato, Scribo, Orange Slates. We have a lot of partners. Of course, Green School Bali just the last month. But now we'll be showcasing in this theme of globalization, how can we actually build our international networks? And there are many ways, but I think today, given that it's more important as we're coming out of the pandemic and going back to face-to-face, it's still very important and a valuable asset to build that international network for your own personal and professional development. And we'll be discussing that here and how it can benefit both you as teachers and even your students as they interact more with perhaps even other students from other countries or other schools, even in your own country, who are part of the ACAD-Asia network. Through this event, our participants will have the opportunity to learn about topics such as the benefits of international networking, strategies for building and maintaining international connections, and ways in which teachers can support their students in building their own international networks. And we'll have interactive discussions we can show with you to you on how we can expand and strengthen these through ACAD-Asia collabED. Incidentally, I was supposed to be joined here also with Jake, our good colleague who always joins us for his events. Unfortunately, he's not available today. Jake, get well soon. We'll see you again at the next event. And for those who are seeing me for the first time, I'm Roy Platon, the Chief Community Officer and co-founder of ACAD Asia. So I'd like to introduce, of course, our speaker for today, and you know him very, very well. Uh, he is a creative and results-driven visionary, a thought leader with 30 years of international experience in the fields of entrepreneurship education, business innovation, and media and technology. Previously, before founding ACAD Asia as a co-founder with me as well, he was the founding center director for Spinoff, the Entrepreneurship Center at Singapore Polytechnic. He was the chief architect behind the largest entrepreneurship network in ASEAN, providing entrepreneurship education to more than 15,000 students across the region. He is a firm believer in the design thinking process, worked with several projects with his students back then on design thinking methodology specifically applied to startups. And through that program at Spinoff, they were able to get some student teams to actually pitch for investment. And two of his students have actually won the prestigious Singapore National Youth Entrepreneurship Award in 2017 and 2020. So they were able to apply the design thinking process to entrepreneurial mindsets, and they actually got angel funding for their startup ideas. Now he is with us on ACAD Asia as the CEO, and our mission is to humanize digital education by empowering educators everywhere. And we do this by, of course, supporting you, our beloved community, the largest online network in Asia for educators, over 250, 300,000 teachers, to upskill and reskill yourselves and improve learning outcomes for the 21st century. And I think it's important that we continue this lifelong learning mindset. All right. Without further ado, I'm very proud to introduce my friend, co-founder, and CEO of ACAD Asia, Mr. Nilesh Bhatia. Neil, welcome aboard.
Hey, hi, Roy. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. I see a lot of our friends from Philippines. Mabuhay, my friends from Philippines. And I also see today somebody from Egypt. Salam alaikum, Mr. Muhammad Wahaban. Good to see you here. And of course, as always, we are always very, happy to see teachers from all around the world engaging with us almost on a weekly basis when we do these virtual events. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here, Roy, and looking forward to the opportunity to share with our wonderful teachers on how they can use collabED to not just build their own international network, but also build their own personal brand as teachers. Yeah.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, Neil. And a couple of more shout outs, of course, former speaker and guest, May Versosa. Hello, Miss May. She's one of our speakers before from one of our sessions. Good to see you in the audience as well. And of course, we have some silver members in the audience. Edwin Guillermo, hello. Welcome also. And thank you for supporting ACAD Asia with your membership. All right. So this topic, very interesting today. Last week, Neil, I know we had guests from Nian Polytechnic and we were talking about globalization, and of course preparing for the future of work. And I think towards the end of the session we were touching upon how it's important to have that global exposure, that cultural comfort level with different cultures and different kinds of learning and teaching styles, and how can we actually go forth and actually build those connections and networks. And I think we mentioned that last time. So maybe as we're discussing here, maybe we can jump off from that point. What have we seen in terms of our own experience, in terms of why globalization has actually become much more important, the international linkages? Why is it so important now to kind of build these networks and these relationships with friends from even out in other countries and other cultures?
Yeah, absolutely, Roy. This is quite valid question, and as per the times today, I think from the perspective of education institutions, it has become very, very important these days for schools, colleges, universities, polytechnics to really build their network with other, similar and like-minded institutions from around the world. One of the main reasons for that is primarily, if you look at it from a perspective of cultural exchange, right? We spoke about this last week, where we said that students these days need to be able to work with people from all around the world because of globalization. You need to be you need to have a very firm and thorough understanding of different cultural perspectives when you're doing business or when you're working in in any kind of an environment these days. So from that perspective, I think it's important for schools to already start building these networks, because when you start looking at cultural exchange, if we can help our students understand different cultures right at an education institution level or at the school level, nothing like it. So connecting with education institutions from different parts of the world actually provides opportunities for cultural exchange and exposure to diverse perspectives. This can actually help both students and faculty develop a very deep understanding and appreciation for cultures, languages, and other ways of life. So that's the first bit, right? Cultural exchanges. The second reason why it becomes important for education institutions to really build their international partnerships and networks is also for in order to facilitate collaboration between the various institutions on research projects, student and faculty exchanges, joint degree programs, and so on and so forth. I think there's a lot of potential for new innovative ideas and knowledge sharing, and great access to resources and expertise to be exchanged if institutions can build these international partnerships and collaborations with each other. And then in terms of recruitment, international networks can also help education institutions to recruit students and faculty from other countries. Now, I know for a fact, like say in Philippines or in India or in Indonesia, a lot of students aspire to go and study in different countries, for further education. So it is good for schools at that point to build those international partnerships so that their students can have direct pathways to different education institutions in different countries, so that the student recruitment can actually happen right there. And also at times, faculty exchange programs can also be held. I mean, can you imagine how cool it would be if we could invite an expert on sustainability education from, say, Philippines or Indonesia to come into a lecture to students in Singapore, and maybe somebody from Singapore who's an expert at AI machine learning to go and do a lecture for students in different countries. So those kind of faculty exchanges and faculty recruitment can also, probably materialize with these kind of international, partnerships and collaborations. And finally, the other reason I would say is helps a school or a institution enhance its own reputation. When you collaborate with reputable institutions from around the world, you basically can increase your own visibility, your own credibility on the global stage as well. So, in fact, it could, potentially help you, increase your own student recruitment at the end of the day when you are partnering with international institutions, because it gives you a lot of credibility as well at that point. So I think those are some of the reasons why it is extremely important these days for any education institution to collaborate with other like-minded institutions from around the world, Roy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just to highlight, even from our own experiences, we at ACAD Asia, we've been tapping, various institutions from especially the ASEAN region, Philippines, Indonesia, especially. And during that time when we had to be locked down, when online learning was something new that our teachers had to kind of be more familiar and comfortable with, and how students had to also learn how to learn online, I think that really even widened the scope, because even from our own trainings, we had kind of participants joining from our own upskilling and teacher training programs from all over the world as well. So aside as from what you mentioned, from an institutional perspective, if it's for student recruitment, even teachers themselves being exposed to at the pandemic times, to find out how other schools were coping. Even if they had, let's say, limited internet connectivity, their students have resource challenges, and us just learning from each other in a global sense, right? Different ways of how to mitigate the spread of the virus, how to learn how to work and study from home, creating that environment space. Can you speak a little bit, Neil, about that and how that exposure and learning collectively from this global connection can be carried over even now to today, as we're kind of opening up? Why was it important then, and how we can keep doing maintaining those international connections today?
So I think individual teacher perspective, Roy, it's very important for teachers to really consider building their networks. So think about it this way: in many schools, right, there are opportunities for teachers to join communities of teaching practice. Okay. Now, what is a community of teaching practice? Basically, it's a group of teachers coming together, sharing best practices, and supporting each other. Basically, that's the gist of it. So that's great. A lot of schools actually have these communities of teaching practice internally. So you can learn from each other. You can share your best practices within the school with other teachers, and so on. Now, imagine if you could bring this to the next level, where you can now join communities of teaching practice at a global level, where you're now interacting with teachers from all around the world. You are, sharing best practices, learning from each other, and supporting each other. In fact, there are a wide range of benefits, that can positively impact a teaching practice and student learning outcomes. And in fact, even sometimes overall job satisfaction for a teacher when they join these kind of international communities. It also helps them, get access to professional development. I think there's a lot of teachers out there who can really share, great practices, good practices, and are very open to sharing their knowledge and expertise. So teachers who join these communities of practice, they can learn from other teachers. So, for example, I've got, kind of a new way of teaching mathematics in my class, which is working, brilliantly. I can see that my students are engaged. Perhaps I would want to share that with other teachers from all around the world, so that they too might learn from my experience. Or it could also be the other way, where maybe something is not working for me. I could pretty much ask a question, and teachers from all around the world who have had those issues before and have managed to resolve them can share their insights and expertise, so that I'm able to benefit from their experience, and kind of use those insights and experiences in my classroom, so that my student learning outcomes can be improved. Then there are also opportunities for individual teachers, for collaboration. So think about this. Can you imagine how cool it would be, Roy? You're in Manila right now. I'm in Indonesia at the moment. Okay. Can you imagine how cool it would be if we know for a fact that if you are, say, maybe a 7th or 8th grade high school teacher in the Philippines, and maybe I'm a 7th or 8th grade high school teacher in Indonesia, and both of us are maybe, say, teaching World War II history. Okay, suppose. Can we collaborate? Can we do a joint classroom project where your students present World War II history from, say, the Filipino perspective, and my students present the World War II history from the Indonesian perspective? Or can our students work together? Can we form groups where your students and my students work together, virtually, and they can present their projects to both the classes virtually? And this also is in line with the 21st century, learning skills. The 4 C's of 21st century education, and one of them, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, creative thinking. All of those things can get covered if teachers start collaborating with each other's, not just within their individual classes, but also internationally. So that is also the benefit, for teachers to join communities of teaching practice. And the last bit is, um, okay, you know, here's the thing: a lot of teachers may always be looking for career opportunities, and it always helps. In the startup world, we know this. The more people you know, the better your chances of finding a job are, because most of the jobs these days are not advertised. In fact, the jobs that are advertised are only a few. The best positions are actually, not advertised for at all, and it's about who you know, and how you reach out to those people. So again, if you are quite active in your international communities, and you're active networking with other teachers and other schools from all around the world, when those career opportunities come up, they could perhaps consider you before they even think of advertising for those jobs, in other on other platforms. So it's very, very good for teachers to keep on maintaining these international relations, build their network as much as possible, and also at the same time build their own brand. Build their own brand. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you build your international network, there are lots of applications in terms of, again, learning from each other, increasing your own skills, borrowing or getting ideas on how other teachers are really conducting their own classes. And of course, with that international connections, you can be more creative with your classes and your students in terms of, having joint projects, joint classroom lesson sessions with other countries or even other universities and schools and high schools in your own country, um, just to make the lesson much more interesting because it includes an interactive network component, and of course the mobility and having access and visibility in terms of the other opportunities in the area as we upskill. There's also opportunities for both schools and teachers to kind of connect and increase their own, let's say, portfolio or resumes, as well as connecting with other institutions to kind of see what opportunities over there also lie ahead. Um, I guess I'd like to, take this opportunity now to invite any of our members in the audience. We'll be going through the technical demo in just a few minutes. But if you have any questions, we'll be posting the Mentimeter link. I think we've shared it in the chat, but maybe we can also share it on the screen. Type in that code or that link for your Mentimeter, so that any questions you have regarding, why is an international network important? How do you kind of build these networks? And you can ask it, and towards the question and answer portion later, towards the end of the hour, we can probably tap those and answer those questions on air as well. All right, so uh, the other thing I think would be quite interesting is, there are a lot of tools and, areas and techniques where you can actually build international networks. But why is collabED unique in terms of creating, especially for teachers and of learning practice and in our community as educators? Why do you think collabED is the most interesting and, powerful tool in building their international networks, Neil?
Well, I could be biased to say, hey, that's because we at Acad Asia created the platform, so it's the coolest, right? But but jokes aside, I mean, I think let's look at it objectively, right? I mean, where do teachers network at the moment? If you want your international network, where do you network with other teachers? Now, there are a couple of platforms out there. One is, of course, Facebook. A lot of teachers are on Facebook today. But have you noticed that Facebook tracks you every time you do so, every time you kind of browse a website or something like that, and then suddenly you start seeing advertising on Facebook of the thing that you were browsing. Or if you're as part of many Facebook groups, the teachers have a lot of these groups on Facebook. A lot of the times people are selling you stuff, uh, you know um, all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of advertising, and there's a lot of distraction and noise on a
Mm.
platform like Facebook, for example. You have teachers who are also, got their personal, networks there, and a lot of times the key message of education gets lost in all the noise. Second network you might want to also look at is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is actually only for professional, networks, and it's actually pretty good. However, again on LinkedIn, you have all kinds of people trying to fit. Uh, Sometimes those connections might be real and relevant, and sometimes perhaps not. The other main challenge with LinkedIn is how do you verify whether this particular person who you're trying to connect with is really who they say they are, or maybe they've just made up this credential and they're trying to be somebody else. So that is always a risk. In fact, I've had several such instances myself where people have tried to connect with me on LinkedIn, and when I kind
Mm.
of dig a bit deeper, I realize that they are not really who they say they are. So that's always been a challenge on LinkedIn. So the unique factor about collabED on the AcadAsia platform is that first and foremost, the entire social platform is only for educators. So
Mm.
it's not for anybody else. It's only for teachers, right? So it's all the content is only related to education. That's it. That's one. The second bit is verification. Every single account verified. So you need to be a verified member in order to, reach out to people and connect with people. So, and I'll show you that in a bit how that verification works as well, so that you can see how you might want to verify your account if it's not verified as yet, and then you can start building your network on the platform very, very quickly and very, very easily with people who really matter from the education
Yes.
industry.
Yeah, I think it's really important that you highlighted that, and I think nowadays it's really much easier through communities and platforms like Acadesia to actually build your international network. It was only like a few years ago where usually you'd have to, let's say, go to a conference or some overseas event. You'd be lucky if the school would kind of send you over. But now, even in the beginnings of your teaching careers, or even as a young educational institution, if you wanted to kind of branch out with the use of all these technologies and features that we have, including the Acadesia community, it's much more doable to reach out and connect and collaborate and see how you can work together in terms of either teaching practices on a professional level or even on a student level, partnering together and doing, let's say, joint classes together, whether it's a science class or a history class or language cultural appreciation class. Much easier to do that now with technology. And of course, even on the institutional level, kind of have these partnerships, international linkages, again, reaching out to other experts and just broadening the horizons of your students and faculty to, the world wide web or the worldwide global culture and experience that technology kind of makes it things smaller. If travel and airplanes and other kinds of modes of transportation have made the world feel smaller because now it takes only a few hours to go a few thousand miles. What more so technology tools that actually bring us together those despite the distances. So Neil, maybe you can walk us through how do we use collabED in building that international network.
Sure. Let me just present my screen. Just give me a moment.
Yeah, so as we'll be now able to see how easy it is to actually connect with fellow educators and teachers in the region and all over through the Acadesia community. For those who have free memberships, you can see the discourse, see the discussion posts, and of course, as a benefit for our membership who have accounts and have subscribed to the annual membership, you can actually then begin to connect and reach out and build your own communities and discussions with others.
Yeah. So, Roy, are you able to see my screen? Can you see collabED on the screen?
It is not available at the moment. If you could kindly click the present
Okay.
button
Okay.
and
Hang on. Huh?
then choose the tab of your
Right.
screen so that we can actually share your feed online with our
Yeah, there you
audience.
go. You should be able to see it.
Yes, we'll add that now to the stream. All right, we see it now.
Okay, awesome. So here we are on the ACAD Asia platform. And as you can see, we have something here called collabED. So I'm just going to go and sign in. We'll basically log right into collabED. So collabED is basically the social networking platform as a service as part of the ACAD Asia platform. And there are a couple of things that you can do on this. So first, you can see your actual feed. So this is very similar to your Facebook or LinkedIn. I think you should be very familiar with this. So you can see the actual feed. You can see that there are people who posted, the certificates which they received. Actually, I can like it. I can comment here as well, and I can say, congratulations. And I can basically, send messages. So it's very, very similar to any other social networking platform. However, the key difference over here is this is all related to education, meaning, over here, teachers are not really posting their holiday photos or family photos and things like that. This is all related to, education. So, and then the other thing I mentioned earlier was the importance of joining communities of teaching practice. So if you see here on the left, we have something called My Communities, right? So you can see there are so many communities which I have joined. But if I wanted to kind of see the full list of all the public communities, I could actually click here on the left and click on communities. So when I click on communities here, you can see that there are so many other communities available to me to join. If you are a lecturer teaching, business administration, you might want to join this particular community. If you are a lecturer from Indonesia, you might want to join the Guru Dan Dosen Indonesia community. If you're interested in learning more about assessment designs, you might want to join this particular community. If you're into design thinking, you can join this community. So there are many, many communities for you to actually participate in, depending on your interest. And what you can do over here is basically join the community and learn from your peers. And if you want, you can even ask questions or even share ideas. Right. So I'll give you an example. If I was to click here on, say, immersive learning through AR, VR, and
AR,
MR,
VR.
augmented reality, virtual reality. So over here, you can see that I've posted an article, 10 best examples. So teachers who are interested in this could actually learn from this as well. In fact, we have one of our previous guest panelists, Miss Maria Rosaria Grasso, who had posted here about a project that one of her students did. So in fact, she says, if you'd like to know more about Mantua, Italy, here is a project made with ThingLink by my students. And if I click on this,
it should open up. Yeah.
There you go. So you now see that, this is the project he shared. So now if I can actually basically play this project back, and I can see what she has actually done and what her students have done. So we can actually go to the project and we can learn from here, and we can apply this into our own classes as well. There you go. So this is a augmented reality project, and there you go. I can basically click on any of these things. So let's start with one. This is an identity card. So country, Italy, Lombardy, Mantova. Population is 48.648 mil. This is the density. I can click on where's 2. I can't find 2, but maybe let's just click on 3. This is the city of Mantua was founded. So you can see the whole cities. Information is all here, and this is a project that she has posted about what her students did. Now, obviously, as a teacher who's not done this before, I can pretty much get so many ideas just by looking at the project that she has shared, on the platform. And now we can also use thinglink.com to we can also share, go to thinglink.com and ask our class to create a similar project about our city. So as you can see, there are a lot of things we can learn from each other just by joining various communities of teaching practice. And how do you, and the other thing is, if you are a silver member or an enterprise member of the Acad Asia platform, you can actually create and moderate your own community. So, for example, you could actually create a community on, say, I don't know, let's say entrepreneurship education, and you can actually make this a private or a public community. And in this case, I'm going to create a public community, and I'm going to say this community is for all educators who teach or are keen to, actually you can't teach, so who facilitate or are keen to facilitate entrepreneurship.
Yeah, the skills and the mindset, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Entrepreneurship education for their learners. Okay.
Yeah, and that includes even the business, not typically just the business or the IT schools, but as we advocate in part of our Futurepreneur program, you know, the entrep skills can be applied to any subject or discipline.
Correct. Entrepreneurship education or entrepreneurial mindset, right? We can actually add that here. So I can now, as you can see, I've just basically created an entire community here, entrepreneurial. There you go. And I can, okay. And I can now create the community, and here it is. And this is a public community. Anybody can join this. Whoever is interested in this particular community, they can actually join this community if they want. And I can actually change the spelling. So let's just entrepreneurship. Sorry, it's too late in the evening. My brain's
no worries, Neil. In fact, I already see it in the public community. So for our friends and educators who are, you know, even longtime members of Acad Asia, maybe you did not know that collabED actually has this communities feature. Please go ahead and try it out. I mean, aside from posting on our main collabED thread, you can click on My Communities on the left side of your menu. Just look for the Communities menu. You can join public or private communities as they're available to you. So for example, if your school already has an enterprise account with us, you can see your private communities there for your subject or department. Or you can also join the various public communities. In fact, this entrepreneurship mindset, I'm going to join this community right now. So I've signed up, and I think I can see it already in my communities page. And yes, I can see the community. I can view it. And maybe I can say, hello, Neil, and welcome to our educator friends who are fans of the entrepreneurial mindset. Entrepreneurial mindset. Yep.
What I can also do is I can now I can post a link, right? So I basically posted a link here, and I'm going to start off this community by saying, you know, you might want to read this article. There, I can already see Roy's message. I can like Roy's message, and here I can now post a link. So here I've basically said the importance of having an entrepreneurial mindset, and there's an article here which you might want to go and read up, right? So this is something that any teacher who has a silver account and for student, and even they have an enterprise account, you can actually create this. Even create private communities, right? So this is a public community, but if you want, you could actually create a private community and only invite the teachers that you want to join that community. So for example, if you want to create a private community of, say, all the teachers within your own school, you can actually just come here, create a community and say ABC High School, for example, create a private community and put it in your description and just say create community. That's it. And then once the community has been created, you can copy the link and send it to all the teachers in your campus and invite them to join. Or you could even create a community of, say, all mathematics teachers in India or all science teachers in the Philippines. And, you know, if you want to moderate that community, by all means. This also helps you to build your own personal brand as a teacher. where you could be the thought leader and you could move the discussions in the direction that benefits all other teachers in that community, right? So that's
That's
as far
right.
as communities of teaching practice. Now, the other thing that you can do here is you can add members in your network. So over here, you can see on the right, I can see newest members, right? So today, if I wanted to build my community, I can say, maybe click on this particular profile and I can see Miss Nishta Futela. She is from India and she is from BML Munjal University. Now, if I wanted to connect with her, I can just connect with her right here. And once she accepts my connection request, I will be able to send her a private message even, right? I can even send her a private message. So if you see here, in her profile, you can see a green tick. This means the profile has been verified. So when you create your profile, you either can create your profile with an official email address, or you need to upload either a valid teacher's license or a valid staff identification card. If you have created your account and uploaded either one of these three things, your account will be verified. And once your account is verified, you too can get that green tick mark next to your name so that we know that who you are really who you say you are. So same thing, I can click on Mr. Alan Garcia's profile as well, and I can connect with him as well. And once he accepts my request, I can send him or her a private message as well. But that's not all. I can also look at members. So when I click on members, I can now see all the teachers who have ever joined the Acad Asia platform. I can see all of them here, and you can actually go through this list and look at their profiles if you want to, and you can connect with them if you want to build your network. And once you've built your network, you will see here in my connections, all the people that I am connected with, I can see that here. Okay, so these are all people I am connected with. Now, if I wanted to send a message to, for example, Roy, I can just click on this and I can say, hi, Roy. I don't want to shout. Hi, Roy. How are you? How is the event progressing? Okay. Progressing, right? And I can now send a message to him. So straight away, he would have received my personal message, and then he can respond as and how he sees that. But again, if I go back to my members, you can see that all the people that I'm connected with, I can see that here. And if somebody sends me a request, a connection request, I should be able to see that here as well. And so these are all the people that I have tried to connect with, and I'm waiting for them to accept my connection request. So as and how they accept my connection request, I will see them in my connections. And if somebody has invited me to connect with them, I will be able to see that in my incoming folder here. So as you can see, there is quite a wide range of ways in which you can actually, I can see here Mr. Michael Tay says hello. So let's do this live. Hello, Mr. Michael. So I can say hello, Mr. Michael. Okay.
Right. And so we can actually send a lot of, if you have direct connections with your teachers within your school or even from other schools and other countries, you can send them a private message or you can send them a public message in collabED. Maybe, again, a lot of you have not explored these tools in Acad Asia. We're demoing it to you now as part of Technology Tuesday so that you can maximize all the connection tools and the communities and groups. The communities, private and public, you can use that. Those are different, just as a reminder, from the course discussions. So if you recall, if you enroll in a course, there's a course discussion link there. Those are exclusively for the courses. So these communities are, free for all, basically message boards and chat where you can actually post links, connect with teachers, invite them to collaborate, and so on. So, in fact, in our chat, I'm seeing here. Edwin is suggesting that multicultural aspects, the Tagalog word guru and Indonesian guru actually share in Indian roots. So again, just
Yes.
highlighting the international network and how we
Yep.
can link up here in collabED.
And here you go. I think I already received a message there. Roy has replied to my message. I can now see, Roy's reply right here. So you can see this is, really in real time, where you could actually, communicate with teachers from all around the world and build your international partnerships, build your international networks, so that there are so many opportunities for you to collaborate, to help you learn new things, to help you share your own thought processes and ideas and best practices with teachers from all around the world, and help you improve your learning, your student learning outcomes. And last but not the least, help you build your own teacher brand. It is very, very important for you to start looking at your own personal brand, so that people can look up to you for answers whenever they have any questions with regards to teaching and learning. So you should actually build your brand so you're looked upon as an expert in your field. So I hope this gives all of you a very simple but a clear insight into what the collabED service on the Acad Asia platform is all about. And I'm hoping to see a lot of you on the platform. And please do connect with me if you want to reach out to me. My handle on the platform is Nilesh Bhatia. So if you want to reach out to me, please do. More than happy to connect with all of the teachers here. Yeah. Thanks, Roy.
Absolutely. Thank you, Neil. And of course, you can also connect with me. I've chatted there, so you know me from the event. So please connect with me if you like. Just a couple of questions before we go back to the housekeeping reminders. A couple of questions here. They're kind of related. They're asking, is there, examples of schools in the Philippines that have had global linkages or partnerships with foreign schools? And is there a way to connect internationally and continuously upgrade our skills and technology towards inclusive education? So they're basically asking, how do we do these connections, I guess, on an institutional level first? How do we kind of connect through the Acad Asia network via institutionals?
So the thing is very simple. Yes, there are many examples. In fact, I myself have been involved in several, international partnerships between institutions in Singapore and Philippines. Basically, very simple. As a teacher, you can, individually build that connection by connecting with any of the teachers on the platform here. From Singapore, for example, there are many teachers from Singapore on the platform as well. At an institution level, if your school is an enterprise level partner with Acad Asia, all your institution international department needs to do is reach out to us and make a request that, hey, we want to reach out to this particular university in Singapore or any other part of the world. Can you please help facilitate that connection for us? And we are more than happy to actually help with that. In fact, that is part of the enterprise level service that we do offer to all the schools that work with us. So those are two easy ways we can actually help you with immediately. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you can reach out to us. You can send us email via the support chat, support@acadasia.com, or a general email, breakfree@acadasia.com, if you want to explore more international linkages. All right, the time flies really fast. Let me just get into some housekeeping reminders so that we can remind our audience how you can actually enroll in the course that accompanies this webinar for Technology Tuesday, and so that you can get your certificates. So again, for the month of March, we're talking about local culture and global mindset in partnership with Neon Polytechnic of Singapore. Today is March 7th, Technology Tuesday, using collabED to build your international network. We hope that you have seen, these are the tools that you can use to build and connect with other teachers and institutions all around the world through Acad Asia. If you have not yet, please sign into your Acad Asia account. Go to www.acadasia.com or sign up as a teacher account. Don't forget to choose teacher so you get access to all the features. Once you create your account for the first time, complete all your information, including your basic profile, contact information, professional details. In your basic profile, upload either your teacher staff ID or your teacher's license or government ID so that you have the identity proof that you're indeed an educator. Once you complete all these steps, you can access all the features on the site, including, of course, collabED, which we've been showcased today. You can also access SkillEd. And here in SkillEd, you'll see all the courses available for this month. So here, using collabED to build your international network, you can enroll in this course. If you are a paid member, this will appear as free. So it's free to watch this webinar, but to join, you can subscribe by purchasing this course alone, or even better is to purchase the membership. I'll show you how to do that. So again, as a reminder, for all those who enroll in this course, you need to complete all the requirements by March 13th so that you can earn 1.5 CPT points, which you will get at the end of March as part of the first 5,000 qualified completers. Another reminder, incorrect or no submission, you will not get these points. So make sure you enroll. Once you've enrolled, you can go through the activities and assessments. At the very end, towards the last lesson, don't forget to fill up the embedded attendance form, and this will be used along with your completion of this course so that you can be eligible for the CPD points in the Philippines. For our non-Philippine teachers, no worries. Just complete the entire course and you will receive your own digital certificate from ACAD Asia Singapore by completing this course. Other reminders, of course, we extended the deadline for globalization and the future of work. That was our activity and webinar last week. So we've extended the deadline for CPD points to March 14. So you can also join that if you're a paid subscriber, a paid member. Again, it's free to watch, but you need to subscribe so that you can actually get the CPD points. And this is our session for today. To get a membership, you can, again, the most affordable one is the silver membership. Go to the memberships tab on the left side of your menu. And then for only $29 or 1,600 pesos a year, that's less than $2, less than $3 a month, less than 150 pesos a year. You can already enjoy all the benefits of the ACAD Asia platform, including CPD points for all our live events. To sign up, just add to cart for the membership. You can choose to pay via credit card or via bank transfer, including GCash. There's a PDF guide with a step-by-step approach, and just follow this so that you can actually upgrade your membership to silver. And next week, okay, which is our third and final event for the month of March, that will be on Thursday as part of our ACAD Asia Technology, ACAD Asia Teacher Spaces Thursdays, ATS Thursdays. We have our guest from Singapore Polytechnic, Ms. Stella Tang, who will be talking to us about how to help students develop a global mindset. So don't forget to sign up at webinar@acadasia.com. So our sign-up form is here. Make sure that you sign up for this event if you have not already registered, so that you can be included for that event. And of course, each of our events, so don't forget to share your certificates as you earn them. There are mechanics here, and the highest number of posts, you'll get some swag and goodies from us as you complete your certificates. So fill up this registration form so that you can join our event for next week. Okay, so that's it for our reminders for this session. Neil, any final thoughts for our friends and colleagues who are thinking of building their international networks using collabED?
I think the final thoughts would be to don't remain silent. Share your best practices with others. Help teachers, within the network, so that other teachers may help you when you need them to, come forward. I think as a community, we all need to kind of support each other, because frankly, nobody else is really supporting teachers. Let's be, plain and direct about it. Nobody else really supports teachers. It is only that the teachers who will need to support teachers if we kind of build this community. So my last thoughts would be primarily, this is a community for teachers, by teachers, and it's for your benefit. So if you want, you could take full use of this to learn and to help others learn in the network as well. And only if all of you are active on the community will this community be successful. So most of it, you have a platform to work on, build your partnerships, build international networks, and hopefully we can at some day, do live in-person community events as well, where we meet everybody in person. So let's go towards that, but let's get this started, with an online community of teaching practice to begin with.
Yeah, thank you for those final thoughts, Neil. Again, of course, we tip our hats to, of course, all those that are supporting teachers as well. I know our education institutions and, of course, government ministries who are still doing their best to support teachers. But as Neil said, we can help each other more if we step up and share and let people know, let our networks know that we are educators and that we are here to support and help each other. Teachers helping teachers through their international networks. We've had a lot of guests through our series of webinars from teacher experts who have shared their amazing stories on how they actually teach in class, their own techniques, and how they can support their learners and their co-teachers in creating more fulfilling and better learning engagements with their learners. Please share that. Reach out to your fellow educators through your networks. ACAD Asia is one of the communities and platforms. We invite you to be active and share your amazing stories with each other. And then you can connect and build on that from strength to strength together as the community. So on behalf of Neil, I'm Roy, and on behalf of the ACAD Asia community, we'll see you next week for Teacher Spaces Thursdays. And on behalf of us and the community, thank you so much, everybody, for joining. See you next week. Take care, everybody. Have a great day and a great week ahead. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to ACAD Asia. ACAD Asia is a Singapore-based impact-driven edtech startup that empowers the largest online community of education institutions and educators in Asia to upskill and reskill themselves to improve the learning outcomes for their 21st century learners. On accadasia.com, educators can access 4 specific services. First, collabED, a social networking service that empowers education institutions to build their international network from all over Asia, and where individual educators can join a wide range of communities of teaching ad learning practice and engage in peer-to-peer learning. Second, skillED, a professional development service that empowers educators to upskill and reskill themselves by accessing more than 1,000 hours of professional development content, all with formal CPD accreditations. In addition to this, academic managers from education institutions can track, measure, and improve the efficacy of all professional development that their faculty access on the platform, thus leading to better learning outcomes for their students. Third, DesignED, the easiest course builder on the planet. In 5 simple steps, this service empowers educators to build fun, engaging, and quality content for their learners. Furthermore, third-party tools like Canva, Google, etc. are fully integrated right into DesignED. Fourth, CertifyED, a digital credentialing service that empowers education institutions to design, award, and track fully verifiable and tamper-proof digital micro-credentials and certificates on the blockchain. Join the largest community of educators in Asia who are already using the platform and sign up for your free lifetime membership at www.accadasia.com today.